Green light, let's get it. I'm the future, I'm in it. Check score, I'm winning. Green light, let's get it. I just win, 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 win. I'm a fan. 10, 10, 10, 10. Hello, I'm Timothy. I got the recipe. I got the flow. I got the remedy. I know they do. I know they envy me. Feet on the floor. What they gonna say now? We came along from last place. Bottom to top of the fast pace. Out of this surf, I get touchdown. I take a loss, get it back.
You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole, and welcome to our Baltimore Ravens recap show. Joining me is Bowie TV's Ravens beat reporter Carita Parks. Carita is also founder of Double Take Sports. What is going on, Carita?
Just taking it all in.
I know, right? I know. Rough Sunday for the team. But on Sunday at home, the Baltimore Ravens fell to their hated rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 27-22. But before we dive into the game, we got to knock out some logistics. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. You can check out our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. If you're on YouTube right now, make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV YouTube channels. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support our shows. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. You can also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, before we dive into this game, obviously I mentioned the Ravens failed 27-22 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got to go through Carita's rundown, so let's play it right now.
This is Carita Parks with Bowie TV. The Baltimore Ravens came into this divisional matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers, knowing that the AFC North was on the line. It was the Steelers who walked away with the 27-22 victory and the number one spot in the division. There were two unfortunate incidents that led up to the Ravens just not being able to make a comeback. First and foremost, Teddy Buchanan, he looked like he had an interception, but the refs overturned that decision and said that Aaron Rodgers held on to the ball. John Harbaugh, he didn't agree with that. Additionally, it looked like Isaiah Likely had a touchdown, but the refs also overturned that, saying that he lost control of the ball. That Isaiah Likely touchdown would have been huge, but after the game, Likely said you just have to go with what the refs say.
They made a call. Got to live with what the refs say at the end of the day.
Lamar Jackson, who usually does his post-game interviews in the press conference room, he did it in the locker room today. You could tell that he was visibly frustrated at his locker talking to John Harbaugh for quite a while. Jackson said that it's frustrating and he's surprised that the team is where it's at.
Yeah, I can say that. We know we got more additions. We got D-Hop, guys like that on our team. I don't think he came over here for us to be in this situation. We known for winning, man, but I feel like it's just an adversity game, man. Like, this point of the season, man, we got to just keep fighting and keep God first.
All season, the offensive players have said execution has been an issue, and they really haven't been able to fully solve it. I spoke to Rashad Bateman to find out what the disconnect is.
I just think we all got to do our job at the end of the day. I think all 11 people involved, all players on the field, whoever's making the offense go, at that point, we just all got to be on the same page when that ball is snapped.
The Ravens are in the midst of a tough stretch. They had the Bengals on Thanksgiving, followed by the Steelers, and now they travel to Cincinnati for another divisional matchup. Derrick Henry said they have to put this one behind them and get ready for Cincinnati again.
We need to win. It's the most important thing. Play these games, play conference football in all three phases, take advantage of the opportunities when they are given, and just execute. I'm saying every week.
This is Carita Parks. That has been your Ravens Rundown. Be sure to follow Bowie TV Sports for all your Ravens content at Bowie TV Sports. And you can also find us on Comcast in Prince George's County.
Great job as always, Carita. Great work. I want to give a shout out to Lay Mike 8944 says, "Hey y'all, I'm glad I found this channel. Appreciate you. Look at you. Look at you. Appreciate you joining the channel." So Carita, first off the calls. I saw the Isaiah Likely catch. I thought it was a touchdown myself. The one with Aaron Rodgers, that one was kind of hit or miss. That one, but the one with Isaiah Likely, I looked at it and I was like, yo, to me, that was a touchdown in real time, instant replay. But I just want to know what was like when that call was made. What was the vibe in the stadium? What was like the vibe in the press box? What was the vibe in the press box as well?
I mean, we were all surprised that it was a touchdown. So we were like surprised that they overturned it. And, the energy in the stadium at that time definitely turned up because that touchdown would have put the Ravens in the lead.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a game changer. There were two game changers, which I said in the rundown. But before that, there was Teddy Buchanan got what appeared to be an interception. Yeah. That it wasn't an interception. And then I want to say, the Steelers came back out. They couldn't make anything happen. Ravens offense came back out. That's when that touchdown that was overturned happened. So, it just changed the game. Both of those calls changed the game. And then there was a Travis Jones personal unnecessary roughness, I think, or personal foul.
Field goal, talking about on the field goal attempt?
Yes.
Yeah, they gave him they scored a touchdown off of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the refs did tell Coach Harbaugh they got that call wrong.
I heard, yeah.
The refs was just giving it to the Ravens. There was no home field advantage on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the wild thing too. I'm glad you said that. Like, there really wasn't any home field advantage. I just felt like the calls, even some of the calls that they were making went like penalties and whatnot didn't go the Ravens' way. There was a lot in that game where it was definitely one-sided. Yeah, they were definitely on one. Definitely agree. Like, they were on one, and the referees. So but in terms of like not looking at the refs, like for you, what stood out in the game? What stood out to you in the game in terms of like the play, the surprising play, energy in the stadium? Like, what stood out to you on Sunday?
Well, for me, the Ravens, they came out, threw the ball pretty well down the field. And what we've seen, at least the second half of the season, when they get into the red zone, they can't convert to make touchdowns.
Yeah.
So they settled for 3 points. And they didn't score again. If I recall correctly, they didn't score again until after halftime.
Yeah.
So that stood out to me because, yes, there were some unfavorable calls. But truthfully, if they would have got going more in the first half, I don't think that those calls would have mattered as much.
Yeah. So
to me, just these slow starts continue to stand out and continue to be a problem. The fans, it's a rivalry. The fans were definitely there, but there were a lot of Pittsburgh fans there too.
They travel. They just know how to travel. They know how to travel.
So honestly, both sides had a lot of fanfare. And then I want to also make a point that the Ravens celebrated the 25th anniversary of the 2000 Super Bowl team. It was like the vibes was high. You had Ray Lewis in the building. You had Marvin. You had all these the old school players that were there. I'm talking about old coaches, just everybody. And they did this big pregame. They honored the coaches that were a part of the Super Bowl winning team. Halftime, they honored the coaches. Well, like more so the head coach and the players.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. It was like really cool. and they were playing, flashing back to the Super Bowl. So you just had all those good vibes, and a win just would have been the icing on the cake, and just could not get it done.
I mean, thoughts on Lamar? He hasn't looked 100% to me, but he ran a little bit more in this Pittsburgh game. Your thoughts on the way he played, and are we getting close to seeing the real Lamar?
He definitely looked. If we think about the past, I feel like it's been the past 3 weeks, particularly. But I think each week he starts to look more and more comfortable running. But there were times on Sunday where he would run, and it still felt like Lamar would have kept running, and he just would stop. And so the second half of the game, it felt like he was like, all right, I gotta just do what I gotta do. But the first half of the game, he was definitely not taking those runs that he would typically take.
Yeah, I feel like second half the urgency was there, right? So you kind of forgot about. I know what you're saying. Like I looked at it like you forget that you're hurt in a way. So it's more like he's putting on that cape. He's Superman again. So it looked like from your clips, like Lamar was totally frustrated. I think he said he's frustrated through the roof. I think that's a quote. Based on your observation, what factors contribute to his to the offensive stalling at key moments? Because it was like certain things they would do well and certain things would kind of hinder him. But what in that game, to me, what were some of the key moments that contributed to the offense stalling?
I don't know why the offense is stalling necessarily, because I say that in the sense of when I talk to the guys, they all say execution. They're like, we got to execute better. We have to play better. They feel like it's a lack of execution. You heard me ask Rashad, okay, everybody is saying this. What's the disconnect? And he boiled it down to everybody needs to be on the same page. So there just seems to be like, I don't know what it is in particular, but it seems to be something with guys not being on the same page. Now there were mistakes as well. I think it was the 4th down conversion in the end zone that Mark Andrews couldn't haul in. We don't know if it was for Mark Andrews or if it was for DeAndre Hopkins. But Mark Andrews tried to pull it in and he wasn't able to make that happen. There was a 3rd down that I believe Rashad Bateman didn't bring in. I mean, even though Zay was cooking, there was some passes that he dropped as well.
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry had a decent day.
He had a good game. He had like 95 yards. They gave him the ball a lot, like about 25 carries, I believe, something like that.
But still, it wasn't enough, you know. And so those are just mistakes. Like, Lamar had an interception. I think it was the first quarter.
Yeah.
So just these little mistakes keep adding up. Then you have penalties, and that last 2-minute drive, there were 2 penalties for 25 yards. It's just silly things that you should not be doing at this point in the season. It's like everybody's not particularly focused. It just doesn't feel like everyone's. And I don't know if it's because this season just isn't going the way they thought it would go, and so they kind of don't know what to do to turn it around, or maybe it's that last year, if they got down, they were making comebacks. They were still in the game. But this year it hasn't been like that. So sometimes I wonder if when things start to fall apart, they don't have an experience really this season to look back on and be like, we could get over this, we could do this, So I just think it's a lot of things. I think it's mental as well as the actual play on the field.
Do you feel like watching it, like, observing the game, do you feel like that the Ravens kind of completely beat themselves? And we'll talk about the defense eventually, but you feel like they beat themselves?
They beat themselves. Yes, I'm going to say they beat themselves. And the reason I'm going to say that is because if I remember correctly, the Steelers didn't score in the second half I don't think wait.
No, they scored a touchdown. They scored one touchdown in the second half.
That was the Travis Jones one, right? But that's the one the refs helped them out with because the defense stopped them. But that's neither here nor there. But I still say they beat themselves because the Steelers did not play as well in the second half.
They didn't. I agree.
And as I mentioned earlier, that first half for the offense, they were not able to get anything going. And if they at least had like at least one touchdown, I think it would have been at least 10. I don't remember what the halftime score was.
So the halftime score, I got you. The halftime score was 17-9. 17-9.
17-9.
Yeah, the Ravens, and then the Steelers had a good third quarter. They had a bad their fourth quarter. They didn't do it. They had 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Third quarter.
The fourth quarter is when they were kind of like the Ravens kind of had them. And to your point, that fourth quarter, the Ravens were moving the ball up and down the field, so they had opportunities to kind of win the game. It's just that they kept biting them. Whatever it was, being cheated by the refs, costly penalties. It was a combination of everything.
They weren't helping themselves, and the refs definitely weren't helping them either. So, when you play any game in the NFL, mistakes will come back to bite you. But you definitely can't make mistakes in these division games.
I totally agree. Shout out to my man Lou. Appreciate you on IG for tuning in, my guy. So let's go to the defense. Like, we were surprising. Like, we talked about the improvement of this defense over the last some odd weeks. But in this game, it kind of reared its ugly head in terms of the secondary. This Pittsburgh Steelers team for a while hasn't been able to get the deep ball. And against the Ravens, they were getting explosive plays.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I said I think I said it once, but I saw it a couple of times. I was like, DK Metcalf
is having to feel that.
Cooking them. Okay.
Cooking.
He was cooking them in particular because he was bringing in everything that Aaron Rodgers threw to him was 20 plus yards.
Yes.
20 plus yards.
Facts.
Yeah. They was getting that was the first play out the gate.
Yes.
DK, and I want to say that was like 40 yards.
Yeah, about 40. It was I think 52, but it was 52 yards.
52. 52. And then boom, they were in scoring territory. So and we saw that a little bit in the Bengals game, which is why the Bengals game kind of worries me that they have coming up next because now they have T. Higgins back.
Good point.
And I'm like, the secondary right now, them deep balls are not.
That was scary. Because to your point, DK was getting one-on-one coverage, and he got Marlon first. And I thought Marlon had good coverage. Actually, I thought Marlon had good coverage. I thought I'm gonna give Aaron Rodgers his flowers. Typically, like, he annoys me sometimes in life, but he was on the money against the Ravens. He was. A lot of his passes were on target.
They definitely have not been looking like that the past.
They haven't. No, being real, they haven't. They haven't.
Real fresh and ready to go.
So I'm with you. Like, that's one thing. Like, he looked like he had a little bit of fountain of youth. Like, he had a rushing touchdown. That
rushing touchdown.
He did the belt thing. I was like,
yard ever.
Yeah, like, it was the longest yard.
and nobody touched him.
Yeah, nobody touched him. But he did the belt thing. I was like, Aaron feeling real good about himself right now. He doing everything. He think he's 25. Paul got a question. My man Paul got a question for you, Carita. He says, question, are you surprised they gave Andrews a new contract?
I'm not surprised because I did get the sense that I kind of think of things big picture wise, right? And if Lamar is going to continue to be their quarterback, I don't think taking away one of his biggest weapons and someone that he is really close to would be the best decision. Especially, I don't know. I think that Lamar is up to maybe restructure his contract in the off season. And what's the leverage if there's no Mark Andrews or, you know what I mean? Certain guys are insecure. So I'm not really surprised. I just feel like if Lamar's the quarterback, Mark Andrews is going to be with him unless something egregious occurs. And I know a lot of people thought the drop in the Bills game was egregious. But at the end of the day,
oh man, he bounced back.
We have to think about what he's been able to do for this franchise. He is the leader in receptions. Not a wide receiver, but a tight end is the leader in receptions for this franchise. So they locked him down.
No,
I think some good news too, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like to your point, I think the most important thing for any organization is to make your franchise quarterback happy. And we all can tell that Lamar loves Mark Andrews. So if you want to make your franchise quarterback happy, you take care of it. You take care of his. And Lamar and Andrews is one of his. You know what I mean? So I agree with the move. And he's one of the best tight ends in his era. So you got, I mean, and he's been solid this year. He's been solid in 2025. So I don't have any issue with it. I want to, like, I know I talked. Let me stay on the defense. But so for you, what was the biggest problem for you watching the defense? Was it the secondary play or lack of pressure? I don't think Aaron Rodgers got sacked. I know Mike Green got close a couple of times, but we couldn't put him down. But what was the biggest issue for you on the defensive side of the ball?
It was definitely the secondary. I mean, the secondary was part of it.
Okay.
But it stood out to me that there was no pressure on Aaron Rodgers. There was, I want to say late in the game, maybe the fourth quarter, they started getting at him a little bit. And I made the comment, we need more of that. They need to make him uncomfortable in the pocket. And he wasn't comfortable. I mean, to your point, he was feeling good out there. He was, running, passing, looking like the old Aaron Rodgers. So
it's crazy.
You prevent the deep ball when you get to the quarterback, right? Yes. So it starts up front. Not getting that pressure on him just being able to be in the pocket and do whatever he wants to do, that was the start of the issue. But then the secondary not really being able to defend the deep ball was the second part of the issue.
Yeah. It was surprising. Like, I just felt like, what's surprising to me about it is I know Tony Romo was on the telecast, kept talking about, the Steelers just got Adam Thielen, so they got another, I forgot the other guy that used to play for Green Bay, Marquise Scandrich or whatever his name is. I ain't gonna mess.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna mess his name up. I ain't gonna have time for it. I'm a Nigerian. I hate when people mess up my name. So anyway, like, and he kept saying, like, okay, now since they have threats on the other side, they're not going to be able to double team DK. And I'm like, them dudes ain't good no more. Why are you talking about worried about all that? That shouldn't be a thing. So my question to you is, are you surprised that they didn't like double DK? Because it was one-on-one. It wasn't really double. He wasn't being doubled. Like, he was really getting one-on-one with the cornerback. And it got to a point where I get starting it that way. Like, all right, we have faith that we can take away DK. But it gets to a point where he's like, to your point, he's getting 20-yard catches consistently now. Like, when did that adjustment kind of change?
I'm trying to think how often I see the Ravens defense actually double team somebody.
Okay. So they don't double team like Jamar Chase? I didn't see the game, so I don't know.
I feel like if I remember correctly, I think it's usually one-on-one with Jamar Chase, which I don't know exactly. So don't quote me. Do not.
No. I got you.
I don't remember a lot of times where they're double teaming guys.
Got you. That's crazy.
And I'm like, maybe they just didn't think DK was going to do them like that, because I haven't been seeing the Steelers game, every Steelers game.
No, you're right.
I don't know.
No, he hasn't been balling.
Really been burning like that?
No, he hasn't been balling. That was the Ravens game was his best game. I'm just surprised they didn't make the adjustment, because it did seem easy. It got to a point where it seemed easy. That's all. Like, you're right. Like, I would, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was, and this ain't any shade to Zach Orr. If I was Zach Orr, I wouldn't double him either initially. Like, I'm like, y'all not showing me I need to double you. Like, people been calling DK a bust. That's how bad it is to look for him in DK.
I mean, I could have sworn he's been kind of quiet. So,
yeah. But today, Sunday, it was like, I don't know. He had Christmas early. Like Sunday, he had Christmas early. So I was just surprised that they didn't make that adjustment. Oh man. Oh, thank you, Hassan. Appreciate you, man. Said just found the channel too. Love the content so far. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Paul follows the follow-up question, says what happens to Likely then in terms of since they re-signed, gave Andrews the extension, what happens to Likely?
That's a good question. We don't. I say that because
I know you're right.
All three of their tight ends were in contract years: Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Charlie Kohler. So, my guess is that there will be a decision between those two, and Isaiah Likely, because of that foot injury, I think he just hasn't been. He just hasn't had. He's not having a bad season, but he's just not having
the same impact.
Leverage for his contract year.
Good point.
So I mean, we'll have to see how they go about it. They're always about the dollars and cents. So if there's a market for Isaiah Likely,
there's kind of a market.
He make more money, he might be willing to go somewhere else because Charlie Kohler, you could keep him and probably for cheaper.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the only I agree. I think there's a market. Because of what you're talking about, because of what he brings to the table, his athleticism, his age, and he's really like a starting tight end. You know what I mean? An offensive starting tight end.
At his best,
yes.
He's a playmaker.
Yeah, playmaker, exactly. So I know like teams are gonna, if I'm Baltimore, how I'm thinking about it, you got Mark Andrews, you gave him the money. You're not gonna get, I don't think you can get what Likely on a bargain unless he really wants to stay. That's all on him. I don't know. You never know what
that would be the only reason if he really wants to stay.
Because you don't never know a man's motives. You don't know what they want to do. So you don't know. And maybe he loves playing with Lamar. Maybe he's willing to take a cheaper deal. Or maybe the
Ravens have been able to keep a lot of people because of Lamar.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe you know what? No. It's his chance for a payday. I know, the Commanders, he said, send Likely down to 95, of course.
I feel like I saw somebody else say that.
No, it's definitely a thing. Don't get twisted. It is a thing. He has been, as soon as it was before, let me speak, Carita, it was before the Mark Andrews extension, and since that happened, it's going upwards. Like now everybody's like, oh yeah, give him the bag. That's where fans are at with Likely. So to your point, saying that there is a market for him. I know that there is a market. But I will say this: the grass ain't always green on the other side for Likely. You're playing with Lamar. It's different. You know what I mean? Like it's different. Lamar does love his tight ends too.
He feeds them. That's for sure.
Yeah, he feeds them. Definitely does. So going to that last. I want to talk about that last drive. Because I feel like there were some time management issues. Like Lamar wasn't like they didn't get the play up, they didn't get the plays quick, and also like that penalty happened on the special teams play, which again I feel like the refs were really nitpicking. It's the last drive, like you calling a holding. I'm like, come on, man, like you're doing a lot right now. Because you can call holding on any play, but that watching that last drive, I want to know what came to your mind because I feel like they took way too much time on that last drive.
This goes back to execution. The theme. I know Coach Harbaugh did say he wasn't happy with that 2-minute drive.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why there was such unclarity about what to do. But it definitely took way too long. And I mean, they moved the ball again, but they ran out of time. They weren't moving quick enough, like you said. Yeah. They just were not moving quick enough. You got to have that sense of urgency. And the penalties, maybe the penalties threw them off.
Yeah, it did throw. Yeah, definitely.
But they just didn't have the sense of urgency. And maybe if they would have, they could have won because they got the ball down the field. But just not enough.
Oh, Late Mike 8944 said it looked like Lamar gave up the last drive. I think he looked frustrated. I know he's frustrated. He was frustrated.
Yeah,
I'll say that much.
I think he's just frustrated. I
Yeah.
don't think I could ever say Lamar will give
Yeah.
up.
I don't think he gave up, but I think frustrated.
That's just not his. That's just not his character. He is the ultimate competitor.
Mhm.
But I do think he was. I think he was frustrated a lot during that game. I
Yeah.
think he's been frustrated the past, maybe visibly frustrated.
Yeah.
2 weeks at least.
Yeah, it's weird to see Lamar so angry. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, that it's during the game. I don't like, you're in the locker room, you see him
I know
after
when
the
you
game.
see him angry.
Yeah.
Like, for me,
Yeah.
him not coming to the podium is very rare.
I know. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
extremely rare.
Yeah.
He was at his locker, and Coach Harbaugh was actually asked about this because we were in. I went to the locker room anyway because I wanted to get some of the guys, and they leave so quickly that sometimes I just have to miss Lamar or somebody, but Lamar wasn't in there. So I come in there and I see him at his locker. Coach Harbaugh had just got done. So Coach Harbaugh was over there talking to him, and they talked for a while, but you could just see Lamar, the frustration on his face. And for me, that's just not like what I'm used to seeing. So when he said his frustration is through the roof, I really think he meant that.
Yeah.
Because he's even during some of these playoff losses that have been bad. The AFC Championship, the divisional heartbreakers. He comes into the room with where the podium is, do what he got to do, and then he's gone after that. But yeah, so that kind of stood out to me, just the fact that he didn't go to the podium the other day. He was sitting at his locker for a good little while, and then he finally talked, but yeah, he didn't seem to be in the best place. And
I'm gonna go back to because I'm gonna go back to speaking the locker room, back to the defense a little bit. We talked about this a little bit off air about like what was like the message from some of the defensive players about what they saw, what happened on Sunday. Can you like talk about that a little bit?
It was really the theme of this has been what you hear from the defensive players a lot is do your 111. Basically, and that still boils down to everybody has to do their job. You're one of 11, do your part. That's really what that basically means. And so it came back down to everybody's got to do their job. And I don't know, I've been hearing this on both sides of the ball. So I'm like, I don't know, somebody's not doing their job, but that continues to be the message, and that's really been the message all year. You got to do your 111.
Well, yeah, it seemed like hopefully they get it all situated. But again, like this stint of losing has really been hurtful for the team, especially 2 straight divisional games, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. How does this team's mindset appear heading into again a rematch against Cincinnati? And also, what's the current vibe? Because obviously you've been there this week already after the loss, right? I'm guessing. So
they didn't. Harbaugh spoke on Monday, but players.
Okay. So what's like? I guess from even after the loss, knowing they got Cincinnati next, what's been the vibe? What's the vibe?
Well, they feel like 4 games left. There's still an opportunity. They're not giving up. They're not the type of team to give up. But they're not saying this, but at the end of the day, the sense of urgency, it's a sense of urgency. Yeah. And Derrick Henry said, they can still only focus on one day. They can only focus on one game at a time. So it's like, we got to focus on one game at a time and basically see where they land, if they can still make it to the playoffs. But he wasn't really willing to get into the playoffs because right now they just have to win games. And that's what he told me. He was like, we got to win these games. Because I'm like, you need to clean up. And he was like, we need to win. And then, then he went into some of the basic, some of the technical stuff, but really boiled down to needing to win. And I do think that Bengals game is still going to be tough because, like you said, they had the Bengals and they had, now the only positive I can say is the Bengals game, they had like 5 turnovers or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Cut the turnovers.
They created the points that the Bengals was able to put on the board.
Yeah.
So if they could clean that up, maybe they have a better chance this time. But Joe Burrow, I'm like, the way he's been slinging that ball down the field, I'm like, somebody got the pass rush. Somebody got
like, yeah, and like you said, they got T. Higgins back. That's even worse.
And they got to go to the Bengals territory.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough game. It's a divisional game.
That too. Yeah.
And I think these divisional losses hit them harder,
of course,
than the regular loss. That's the vibe I get. Like they definitely seem to take the divisional losses harder, at least this season.
Yeah, especially when you play like the Steelers are like your rivals. Like that's not like, let me take the like out. They are the Ravens' rivals. Them and the Browns for real, because the Browns have like a hated thing. That's like but the Browns just suck right now, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's when you look at the Steelers are it though. So many like big games. You got the tension with Tomlin and Harbaugh. There's like something there. Yeah. I see why they would take that one hard. Paul said, in terms of Lamar, said he might be angry because the Ravens window is closing. That's a question he's asking, like in a question. I don't know if the Ravens, I'll be honest, like I don't know the Ravens window can ever, like this is my thing. When you have an elite quarterback, your window really doesn't close unless your elite quarterback is pretty much gone. So when you have an elite quarterback, you're always in the game.
Because the window might be seeming to start to close this season. Because
this season, I agree with that.
We're getting to a point like that game right there. There's a lot of games that they should have lost, but losing that game against the Steelers, that knocked them out the playoff picture. They're not even in the picture. I saw it today.
Right now, yeah. I mean, all they can go to the division. Yeah, it's just a division.
Over the next couple weeks, but right now they're not even in the conversation anymore. So I think that the anger is more so this team had high expectations coming into this season. You got to think about it. Went to the AFC Championship, went to the divisional round, so their playoff expectations are there. They, like Lamar mentioned, they brought in D-Hop. You know, they thought they would be a playoff team this year, and it has not been coming together. They don't even look at this point like a team that will make it to the playoffs. Anything can happen, but they're just not playing like a team that can overcome the issues they're having right now.
For you, what needs to change then for them to look like the team that can make the postseason? What needs to change specifically for you?
They need to find a rhythm. They have no rhythm on offense. You know what I mean? Like when I think about even last year, I mean, I know they started off a little rocky, but they overcame it. And the offense was fairly dominant. You know, the defense was shaky, but the offense was dominant. They need to find a rhythm offensively. They're not that team. I don't think they've scored over 30 points in the past, in like weeks. Like the first 4 games, I think they were scoring over 30 points. But they haven't been able to do that in the second half of this season. The red zone issues, that's a problem. You can't get down to the red zone and not score. And that has happened a lot. But also, it just also doesn't feel like all 3 phases are clicking in any one game. Like every now and then they're all clicking, but you don't see a consistency in like defense, special teams, offense, like just rolling.
No, I agree. Just
5-game winning streak, but even in that 5-game winning streak, the offense was not dominant.
They weren't. I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And it was like, and you said it though too, Carita. I give you your flowers. You were like, we got to see them play against like better quarterback, playing better teams, to see if they can kind of hold up. You know, and they have played against. I mean, the Bengals. When you get Joe Burrow, the team changes, right? So now they're a better team. You play against the Steelers, a better team, and with Aaron Rodgers.
With the Aaron Rodgers team to be a better team.
Yeah, exactly with Aaron Rodgers. Well, week 14, Aaron Rodgers look a little bit. He looked elite. That's how I want to look at it. But so we talked about a lot of bad things that went wrong. Well, let me add this too. Do you feel like I was watching the game, and we both, I like Rashad Bateman. He had that big drop. I feel bad for him. That could have been a touchdown in my opinion, or maybe a first down if we caught it.
Definitely first down.
Yeah. But also Zay was getting money. Zay was unstoppable in terms of the past game. But I feel like for me, watching Lamar over these, some odd weeks, but compared to last year, what I liked about him last year is that he shared the ball around a lot more to me. And I think now he's not sharing the ball around as much as he used to.
I was frustrated by that. I'm glad you said that. I was frustrated by that. And I was like, maybe it's something I'm not seeing, because in the press box, you don't see everything like you see if you're watching the broadcast. And that's just a fact or whatever. But I'm like, maybe I'm missing something. I'm like, are guys covered? But no, that was frustrating me. I'm like, why? I love that Zay is dependable.
Yeah.
But it was like he was the only receiver out there.
Yeah, agreed.
He was barely targeting Bateman. He was barely targeting D-Hop. And the misuse of D-Hop is also bothering as well, because you sign a guy like D-Hop, you got to have a plan for him. And it doesn't feel like they have had a plan for him. And so there's that. And then Mark Andrews
barely got touches too. He barely got touches. Yeah.
So, he did go for Isaiah Likely, I think, a couple of times. But yeah, that did frustrate me. And Bateman, there's a lot of games Bate don't get that many targets. So I don't know what that's about, but that does bother me, because the whole idea of having all these weapons was to make Lamar better, or not make him better, but get him to where he wants to go, which is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I know you can't use every weapon in every game, but it's just not, it's almost like he doesn't, I don't know what it is, but he's just not spreading the ball around.
Yeah, that's the thing.
With the discomfort that he's having.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he's not playing like the Lamar we're used to seeing. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that, and he's just going to who he feels most comfortable with because of that. But there's a lot of guys on the field, and he needs to get the ball to them.
Yeah, because I was listening to the broadcast, and Tony Romo was like, other guys need to step up. It can't just be Zay. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, obviously, you just you don't really watch the team enough, so I get it. You didn't watch the team last year to know that Bateman was close to getting 1,000 yards last year. So he is a very capable wide receiver. It's just that it seems like, I know Bateman's been hurt too. So that's kind of hindered his play.
He only missed 2 games.
Yeah, I know, not thoroughly, you know what I mean? But, and then not having Lamar does hurt, all the whole wide receiving core when Lamar missing games. But still, you want to see the ball being spread, because when you saw last year, when the ball was being spread, that offense was way more dynamic and potent, to a point where folks last year was saying that Andrews ain't getting that many touches because Likely he's getting touches, and because the ball was being spread around, and then Andrews got some touches eventually in certain games. So I just feel like when you watch, when Lamar is at his best when he's spreading that football around.
He hasn't done much of that this season at all, honestly. And to your point, last year Bateman did almost have 1,000 yards. That was his best. That was the best season of his career, actually.
Yeah.
And this year, I don't know where he at, but it's nowhere near that.
No, I ain't nowhere near. Believe me, it ain't nowhere near.
Nowhere near that. So that's got to be frustrating.
He's not getting explosive plays. He was getting deep balls. He's not getting any of those type of plays like he got last year. I'm just saying, it needs to. I feel like Lamar is at his best when he's spreading that thing around, and it just seems like you're getting the same people over and over again. No knock, Zay, what Zay was doing was dynamic. So I ain't out here saying don't feed Zay, but you want to see spread the football around a little bit. That's all.
You can't tell me of all the receivers, Zay's the one always open.
Yeah, I agree.
He's the one I think that other teams are going to cover the most.
He's the one that's gonna get double. He's gonna probably get double, and the other guys will get easier coverages. I totally agree.
I've seen him force the ball to Zay sometimes,
Yeah.
and I'm just not understanding that because there are so many other guys on the field.
Well, he did that, and he did that on Sunday too. He's forced the ball a few times to Zay. But yeah, I was wondering. I was looking at it. I was watching the game. I was like, he's really looking for Zay a lot. Like, and to Zay's point, I mean, to Zay's credit, man, that boy was making folks look bad out there. Like, he had the joystick going.
But when you sign Bateman to an extension and you're not using him, it makes zero sense.
Oh yeah, Carita, I agree with you. I think Bateman is hella talented. I do think that he's had some games where he had some drops that I feel like I can see a quarterback being weary at certain times, but I do think that you get credit in the bank when you have a season like he did last year, and the relationship he's fostered with Lamar. I feel like you can. I don't know their relationship. You know it better than I. But I'm sure they have a great relationship to a point where I don't think Lamar loses faith in Bateman or anything like that.
I don't think so. I mean, Mark Andrews drops balls.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Agreed.
Right back to him.
Good point.
The play after, so I don't think they've all had drops, honestly, at some point. But I think what I'm trying to say is I don't feel like Bateman's had any worse of a drop than anybody else.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, they've all had drops at some of the worst times.
Oh, got some questions out here from Jean Brazil. What is going on? She said, hi guys. The question relates to Todd Monken as a coach. He should be explained why lack of catches for Andrews, D-Hop, Bateman, and so forth. Kind of sticking to the thing.
He doesn't have an explanation for that. Coach Harbaugh on Monday did say they need to utilize DeAndre Hopkins more.
Oh, okay.
They need to get him more involved. But it's 4 weeks left in the season, so for me, that doesn't do nothing for me because
it should have been done.
Why are we just saying this with 4 games left?
Yeah. Why you ain't addressing it? Why are you addressing it now? Like, it should have been addressed early, in the. I like that.
If you sign a DeAndre Hopkins,
I like that.
You got to have a plan for integrating him in this offense, and it doesn't appear that they did.
No, I agree. I totally agree. I do think Bateman should get more touches. I personally think that the Ravens are and this is not because I just like, Bateman as a receiver or whatever, but I do think that the Ravens are a better team. One, they're a better team with Derrick Henry touching the football. Everybody, I always say that they're a way better team. With Derrick Henry gets like 25 carries, they're a better team. And secondly, they're a better team with Bateman is getting work, because that now allows Zay to do a lot more work. Now, if you're worried about Bateman, that makes Zay's getting one-on-one. You know what I mean? Like, you can't shade over to Zay. Or, you know what I mean? It makes Andrews better, it makes Likely better. You know what I mean? Because Bateman's capable of getting open one-on-one. He's capable. He showed you all that last year. So I think that So I feel like the team is better suited if they can go there. If they can get him loose. I think if they get him loose, it opens up everything. Actually, to be honest with you, I would like a game plan. If you're going to throw the football, try to get him loose early, because you're going to always have Zay in the bank. If that makes any sense, you're going to always have Zay in the bank. Zay is going to always make it do what it do, because Zay is he's that explosive of a wide receiver where you can give him any type of pass and he can make 5 yards in the 20. That's just how good he is. So yeah, I think that, I would more than even D-Hop, I get you got to get D-Hop involved, but to me, getting Bateman involved even more early, just early, 1 is good for confidence, 2, give him a rhythm, 3, it helps everybody else out.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like they game plan around Bateman's involvement. Just from what I
agree with you, Carita.
Those meetings, but just from what I see, it doesn't feel like that. And then I definitely don't think I always thought DeAndre Hopkins for sure would be the third option anyway. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But even as the third option, they don't use him well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's about.
Nah.
I'm like, does Todd Monken have too many weapons that he don't know what to do with everybody?
It's possible.
I don't know.
That's possible too.
It's possible, but
that's very possible.
I haven't seen a lot of improvement in that area as the season has progressed. It's not like it was an issue, and then as the season progressed, you start to see like better involvement from both Bateman and D-Hop.
They have issues. Sometimes they have issues feeding Derrick Henry the ball. So I feel like maybe they do have too much. Maybe he does have too much talent. Like sometimes some people have to suffer from it. So I want to get like we kind of been on spoke about some negative stuff. I like to keep certain things positive. For you, what were some of the positives on Sunday? Like positive play. You had Mitchell with a nice run. You know,
yeah, Keaton Mitchell. He
got hurt, right? Did he get hurt after that run?
I think so. Yeah, he did get hurt after that run. And I think it was because of the run, because I did notice he looked like he slowed up a little bit close to the end zone. I feel like Keaton pre-injury would have made the touchdown. But I was good with 52-yard run, honestly. But I did say to myself, he need to get in the end zone because I thought
he should have scored. He should have scored.
I didn't have faith in the offense be able to do it, but I think they did on that.
They scored. But they did score.
Okay, but yeah, Keaton with the 52-yard run. What else?
Yeah, which way? Do you
like that?
Didn't
have many. Well, it was an up and down game for the defense, but I do think they did enough to have the offense done what they needed to do, where the Ravens could have won the game.
True. Like, at that fourth quarter, definitely.
In
the fourth quarter,
I'd say that's a positive. I remember. Let's see. Yeah, those are all I can think of.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, all I have I like Mitchell's nice run. That stood out to me. Zay, obviously, I think Zay had a.
Oh yeah, I mean, but we've been talking about
Zay a lot. Yeah, I know.
He had a great game.
It wasn't a lot though. I won't lie to you. It really wasn't a lot. I'm gonna hold you.
Hard.
Yeah, like I thought Derrick Henry, he ran very well in the fourth quarter. Like it was like he kind of got his rhythm in the fourth quarter. Yeah. That's pretty much it. It wasn't anything special though. I won't lie. I can't say anything. I was not happy with the defense. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just felt like that was so annoying. Like watching the game, I'm like, you're giving up.
I didn't say I just said. And it didn't really happen until towards the end.
No, you're right. And they made plays in the end, like in the fourth quarter. They made plays. They
did enough.
No, I agree with you, Carita. No, I definitely agree with you.
It wasn't a stellar defensive performance at all. Even Alohi Gilman, who been doing his thing, have a good game. I felt.
Nah, he had a personal foul. He was like, nah.
Hamilton really wasn't doing.
I didn't hear his name. That's wild. That's the first time I didn't really hear his name.
Yeah, Kyle didn't really have no big plays.
Yeah.
So yeah, they was not on their P's and Q's for sure.
I will say that's the first time that's the first time I did not hear Kyle Hamilton's name mentioned, like watching on TV.
I will say this. For me, with the division on the line, I just didn't see the hunger.
Okay, got you.
I didn't see the hunger. Like we coming for the number one spot. I just didn't feel that. In my opinion.
No, you're right. I totally agree with you. Basically, like I'm just going to like paraphrase it for the folks in the world that speak in lingua. The Steelers wanted to smoke.
Yes, they wanted
the Ravens. The Ravens ain't want it. Let me put it that way. Like Patrick Queen.
Smoke.
Yeah, Patrick Queen came back. Like he was hurt off and on, came back, made plays. He wanted to smoke. Like there's players on that team, like Aaron Rodgers. Oh, you know what? But he wanted to smoke. Like he came in motivated. Like DK wanted smoke. They had players that I'm not saying that everybody on the Ravens didn't want smoke, but the majority of folks seemed like they didn't want to smoke. And the Steelers were all about that life. They were all about that life.
I mean, I guess to your point, I can't speak for nobody, but I didn't Zay might have wanted to smoke.
I think Zay wanted to smoke. That's why they won't put him out there. That's why I said some people.
He wanted to smoke.
Yeah, that's why I said some. That's why I said I really meant one.
But I didn't feel it like I just didn't feel that. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna have to work for that number one spot. I'm
with you. I totally agree. Watching that game, I'm like, one team really wanted it. Like the Steelers really wanted it. Like you could see it. Like they really.
The Steelers have been. I think last year, I believe the Ravens beat the Steelers twice.
Yeah, they smacked them in the playoffs. They smacked them in the playoffs too.
We think about the Ravens rivalry. You know they don't like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they didn't beat them twice. Maybe they beat them Maybe they beat them in the regular season
and the playoff game. Yeah, that's how it worked. Yeah, you're right.
But anyway.
No, you're right, Carita. Playoff and the one in the regular season. You're right. There's one in the playoff, one in the regular season. They split in the regular season. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So,
you're right.
You're right.
Yeah, I had to remember. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I got you. You're right. We got a couple questions before we end this stream. Gene Bazile said, could it be Lamar masked a lot of deficiencies of that offense? I watched Cooper Rush in that offense. He looked so average. Yeah, Lamar masked a lot.
Lamar is definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. And this is no knock on the offense, but with a 100% healthy Lamar, I definitely think hides the deficiencies on offense. And he's gotten them through some games that they wouldn't have got through with Cooper Rush.
Oh man, Cooper Rush is trash. I'm sorry. I can say that. I'm cool with that. Cooper Rush is trash. I'm sorry. I can say that. I don't be there, so I don't know. Gene also said one problem that keeps hunting the Ravens is the pass rush. I know the positive for that. I mean, for me, that was operating the offense at a high level, considering Lamar's injuries. Yeah, I agree. He still operates the offense even with being injured. I think Lamar is definitely hurt. He's definitely hurt. But I do think he's getting healthier. I think if you watching that game compared to the weeks before, Lamar's getting healthier.
I don't know. I feel like he's just beat up. I don't know if there's like one thing. I think it's been a couple of different injuries. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I feel like one injury is still the problem. Like it's one thing over another. I just think it seems like he's been just dealing with a lot with his body. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's really why he's not 100%. Is just because it seems like he's a little beat up this season.
Yeah, hopefully Lamar gets healthy, man. I appreciate Lamar, man. I hope the Ravens, I expect. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do feel this way. I feel strongly about this. I think if they can beat Cincinnati, which is that's gonna be a tough one. That's a tough one. If they can beat Cincinnati, I do think they beat. Personally, they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Like I have a feeling they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
I feel like something's gonna come down to that Pittsburgh game. It's just even before this season started, seeing the Steelers as the very last game, it just feels like there's going to be some decision that comes out of that game.
Yeah.
I guess if the Ravens don't win on Sunday, maybe not. But
I think Sunday's a must. I mean, obviously it's a must win, but Sunday is stronger than anything. I just believe that if they could win that game, I think that's the key game for them. If they could win that game, pull it out, I feel like the division is theirs. That's my belief. I think the division is theirs.
The only thing that makes me pause is when they had a chance to take the division.
And they didn't take it.
They didn't take it. So then I'm kind of like, well, are they suddenly going to find some magic? Maybe they will. Mm-hmm. But you're welcome.
You're welcome. Appreciate you. Man, appreciate you. It's tough on me at my job. Well, thanks for joining us. You know what I mean? We appreciate it. I'm glad. Look, this is therapeutic. I know for a lot of people, man. Sometimes you gotta talk it out.
It's tough at your job. So if you're in Jersey, that's like Giants territory. I think.
Giants. Jets and Giants. You know, I got a friend. I got one of my good friends from college from New Jersey, and he's confused about his teams in life. He calls them New Jersey Giants because they play in Giants. I'm like, bro, they're not called. They call New York. All right, you're not supposed to have a football team. It's okay, but they claim the Jets or the Giants, depending on whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm glad. But again, I'm glad you joined us. We appreciate you. So Carita, before we end this stream, how can folks catch you on social media, catch your content, catch your stream? Thank you, man. Lay Mike up, lay Mick, I guess. Same here, Gene. We always talk football Monday morning at work. I was drinking last Monday. It's all good. It is all good. But yeah, how can folks catch you on social media? Catch your great content for Bowie TV and also for Double Take Sports as well.
Yes, so you can catch me on all social media platforms at Carita C. Parks. Also, my Ravens content is highlighted on Bowie TV. That's at Bowie TV Sports on all platforms. Then I'm also the owner of a media company called Double Take Sports. So be sure to follow us for all kinds of sports coverage, from WNBA to college basketball to Wizards, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Give us a follow at DBL Take Sports.
That's awesome. You're getting flowers from Gene. Look at Gene. Look at it.
Oh, thank you, Gene. I appreciate that support. I really do. It's nice to know. To know.
You ain't saying nothing about your Wiggins interview too. You gotta tell folks you slipping.
Oh yeah, I mean you
slipping. You gotta do right. I'm telling you, child.
You know how many things I have put out lately. So that's why you're here. If I do something. So yeah, I did an interview with Nate Wiggins yesterday. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I did an interview with Nate Wiggins yesterday. It was a little different because it was focusing on his partnership with Novartis for My Cause, My Cleats, where he is bringing awareness to breast cancer and really advocating for early detection. So I try to show different sides of the players, not just everything that they do on the field. And when I do that, that segment of mine is called Under the Helmet. So I have a new Under the Helmet segment out with Wiggins. I posted it on X. You can find it on IG, and the entire full interview is on Bowie TV Sports YouTube channel.
All right, man. So y'all pull up for that. All right, pull up. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene. For Aegis, Ayede Deuces, we are out. Peace.